Greetings, survivors. Today I'm going to talk about fall damage, specifically from which height you might fall without taking any damage. Now, I did some experiments before starting the video, and we'll start with the maximum height from which you can fall without taking any damage. So this is 5 high. Let's count it just so you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I fall 5 high on wood, I don't take any damage. Now, the damage at the lower heights is not, it doesn't happen all the, every time. So let's repeat this a couple of times. No damage. And if I fall on concrete, no damage either. So from 5 high, you can fall without taking any damage. If I do go to 6 blocks high, then I start taking damage. So no damage there. I should have healed up before starting the video. There you go. I took damage. I could have sprained my leg as well. I never broke my leg from this side, but it could happen. Now let's heal again. Okay. So on concrete, same thing. There is a chance of not taking damage, but if you repeat that long enough, there you go. My leg is sprained. I have to use my magic healing, and I'm good. I'm good again. Now I also did this experiment on. Okay, this is. Oh, this should have been 1 block to the side. Sorry about that. Let's quickly fix this. 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 5 high, and this is forest ground. No damage at all. I could repeat this as many times as I want. And sand on the side. I'm not going to take damage. Now, if I go to 6 high and fall on forest ground, I can take damage. Same thing for sand. If I fall on sand, there you go, damage. So it makes no difference whether you fall from on top of wood, on top of concrete, on top of forest ground, or on top of sand. You take damage if you fall from 6 blocks high. Now, how do you stop from taking any damage at all? So let's get some ladders here. Ladders, and let's place it here to help with this experiment. And I shouldn't have placed the ladder here. Let me over this really quickly. There you go. Sorry about that. This is going to be used in a different experiment. And let's place some blocks here. There. Okay. So, how do you prevent taking any damage at all? There are 2 blocks that let you do that. One is the hay bale, and this is the most famous one. Okay, so if I go up here, oh, I have to go much higher, and let's remove these wood frames here. These are not the wood frames I want. All right. So there's a bale. It doesn't matter from which height you fall. If you fall on hay bale, you don't take any damage. The other block is the awning block. And for awning, you have many different formats. So let's say we fall now on the awning block. Okay, and we fall on over the awning block. No damage. So if you want to avoid taking damage, you can use either hay bale or awning. Now, there are a couple of differences. First, you can always pick up hay bale later. So that makes it great for temporary work where you fear you might fall from a very high um, altitude elevation. But for permanent bases, I don't like it. Like being able to pick something from the base. I personally don't like that. But that's a minor concern. The bigger concern here is that the hay bale has no max load at all. So it can only be placed over a block, and it won't support anything that is attached to it. So if I place a hay bale, well, not a hay bale, wood frame. Place a wood frame here, no go. So a hay bale has this disadvantage if you want to make a structure, and it can also it cannot be attached to the side of something either. It has to be on top of it. So I can place a hay bale on top of hay bale, for instance, or on top of awning or whatever, but I cannot place a hay bale on the side of a block. That just doesn't work. Now, if you want to build a structure that has this property of not inflicting falling damage, then awning block is the one you need to use. It has a max load 40 and a mass of 5, which is the same as the wood frame. So anything that works with a wood frame works as well with the awning. And you can see it here where I have a block of awning serving as well awning. This is what an awning is. So these are the main differences between these two blocks. Well, there is also the cost to make them. The awning, the hay bale is made from just plant fibers, and the awning is more expensive. Now, one thing that is very common is to use hay bale or awning underneath a ladder, because if you do that and you're descending a ladder, you want to descend faster, you can press space to drop, and then the hay bale or awning will prevent any damage from happening to you. But beware, this block cannot be occupied by anything. And what I mean is, if you try to place wood frame here, for instance, it's possible to do so. Now, if this block is occupied, as you can see here, by this ladder, or anything, but basically, if there's anything at all in this block, if you cannot put a wood frame in this block here, right above the hay bale or awning, then you will take damage when you fall. So I press space here. There you go. So this is great thing to place below the ladder, but remember, the ladder cannot go all the way down. Now, let me talk about another thing you can do with the awning. This is a pretty ugly awning. Let me fix this. Let me get some awning of this kind. This will look better. just here on face, advanced, there. So let's place this here. I can drop this off, pick this other one, and on face, there, there, and we'll have to, well, let's leave that as it is, because otherwise it's all going to fall down because there's not enough structural integrity. Anyway, so we have a nice awning here, and that allow us to be at some upper floor of your base. So this is the second floor, could be third floor or whatever, and you can drop on top of the awning and from here to the ground. Remember, it needs to be at most 5 high, so you won't take damage from the fall to the ground. But it serves as a way to exit from the base from high above. And it also provides some shadow. Now, the awning does have very few hit points. It has only 5 hit points, so almost anything will destroy the block. If it's high enough, the zombies won't do much damage, but cop puke will completely trash any awning. Alright, so let's briefly recap everything we learned. We can fall from up to 5 blocks high without taking any damage. But starting from 6 blocks high, you can take damage up to and including sprained leg. It doesn't matter if you're falling on top of wood, concrete, sand, forest ground, or whatever ground. Anything but hay bale and awning will cause damage if you fall from 6 blocks or more. Now, you can use awning and hay bale to prevent falling damage. It doesn't matter how high you fall from. If you fall on top of these building materials, you will take no damage. They make great bases, great ground underneath ladders, so that if you're going up a ladder and you want to, or going down a ladder and you want to drop fast, you can press space and fall without taking damage. But you cannot have a ladder right above that block. Any block here will cause you to take damage. So you need to leave the last piece of ladder off, and then you will take no damage. The hay bale can be picked up again, but it cannot be placed on the side of any blocks, and you cannot place anything on the side of a hay bale. The awning, on the other hand, has the same structural integrity as wood frames and can be used in any place you use a wood frame. It also has many kinds of shapes, which allows you to make better looking structures, and you can use it as an awning on your base, so you can drop from higher floors to them and then to the ground without taking any damage. I hope this is useful and that you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.